Hey everyone, welcome to TnSportsChat presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Patrick Matsinko with Emmett, McCall. Coming off of our last weekend of winter sports where we wrapped up with the PIAA State Swimming Championships out in Bucknell, Marian's Danny Berlitz brought home a gold medal and a silver medal.
Great way to end the winter sports season. We had a wrestling gold medal the week before with Caleb Clymer, and this week Danny Berlitz got us a gold medal in the 200 IM.
Yeah, and that was a race that was disqualified in last year. In the 500, he won gold last year, but again, a first and a second. You know, it's certainly a stellar weekend for him.
And he had two really good swims too.
Dropped his time.
Right. I don't know if they were personal best because he swims a lot.
Yeah,
but they were definitely his two best times of the postseason with the times he swam in the prelims at District 11 and the finals in District 11, and then the prelims out at Bucknell. His two final times were the best he had through the postseason, so did really well.
And I think we talked about it the week before with Caleb Clymer and some of those other kids where they, you have those kids that kind of peak at the right time, and that's certainly what you want, is to be dropping times and performing your best when you're at states.
He won the 200 IM. His time was 1:49.97. Almost 3 seconds faster than the silver medalist, which in a 200-meter race is
wild.
Crazy, right? Yeah. And then his time in the 500 free, 4:28.63. Lost the gold by.
I was going to say it was such a close race.
Second, right? Led for most of it.
Yeah.
According to Sam Water, who covered the PIAA swimming for us, he led for like 19 of the 20 laps and just got caught a little bit at the end.
But again, a great season for him, and you know that he's going to be ready and fired up coming back next year, where he has a chance to really kind of put an exclamation point on what's already been an outstanding career.
Correct.
We also had two other swimmers out at Bucknell in Marian's Maddie Dando and Tamaqua's Lexi Kerstetter.
Yeah, two extremes of the spectrum. Kerstetter, senior, who was just thrilled to get out there first time she was able to get out to Bucknell for the state championships. She swam a really good race, swam the 200 free. She was seated 30th coming in, which was based on district times, and she finished 20th.
Which is, again, to think about, kind of having that sort of improvement at the end of the year and the biggest races of the year. And it's, again, great for her to kind of go out like that as a senior. Maddie Dando, though, a freshman.
Right. So she's hoping this was just the first of getting back there a few times during her high school swim career.
Absolutely. So
she swam 100 backstroke, finished 25th in the field of 32, and she's got, like I said, 3 more years to try to get back and improve on that.
And again, hopefully this is just kind of a stepping stone for her and for Danny as well, and a nice way for all three of them to close out seasons and a career for Kerstetter. But that wraps up our winter sports season, and now...
But not our winter weather.
No, believe it or not, we are into the spring sports season. We've had several tennis matches. Palmerton has played several matches. Jim Thorpe's been out. Pleasant Valley. But we just seem to every week get hit with another nor'easter.
That's why we're here on Thursday instead of Wednesday. We got a little snow delay for our regular podcast.
Affects everyone.
Yeah. But 9-10 inches in the Carbon Schuylkill area yesterday. Monroe got 4 or 5 inches up there. So I'm thinking we're not going to see any baseball or softball. Friday was supposed to be the opening day of the season, and I don't think that's happening.
No, unfortunately. While we can't really look forward to any action, in the next day or two. At least we do have our spring sports previews, which started late last week and have been running through this week.
Yeah, last Saturday we ran our tennis preview story, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week we started with the baseball, softball, and the track previews.
Yes, and it'll wrap up tomorrow with the boys track and field preview capsules. So we're kind of coming to the end of that, but unfortunately we're not looking like we're going to be jumping into getting out.
No, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, all the fields have snow on them right now. I talked to Kyle Spots at Lehigh earlier this week, and they actually had scrimmages on their baseball, softball fields on Monday. He said fields were good to go. They had their opener scheduled for tomorrow against Palmerton, and obviously that isn't going to happen now. That's already been postponed, but it'll just be interesting to see. Some of the fields wouldn't have even been ready to go this week. I know Jim Thorpe's for one, even if we didn't get the snow yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see when the teams can actually get on their fields again now.
Yeah, and now having another nor'easter just certainly kind of compounds, the problems that we might have had that kind of lingered from the other storms that we've kind of had to deal with over the last couple of weeks.
And the cold weather. I looked at the weather forecast. The next 5 or 6 days, it's going to be below freezing every night, which doesn't help the fields.
No.
Get in shape. So we'll just play by ear. Hopefully, sometime next week, teams will be able to get out there. I think maybe some of the schools with the all-weather tracks might be able to get out next week. Tennis, if they shovel their courts and let the sun dry it a little, might get out. But for right now, baseball and softball might be in trouble.
So we'll just keep our fingers crossed and remind ourselves that it is technically spring and it is going to be April, believe it or not, in about a week or so.
And speaking of April, the first week of April, we'll be running our Times News Winter Sports Athletes of the Year. We pick one for our boys basketball, girls basketball, wrestling, and swimming. They'll run Monday through Thursday that first week of April. And then in the Friday and Saturday's paper, we'll have our wrestling all-star team and our girls and boys basketball all-star team. So that's only a week and a half away. We'll have them coming up.
Yeah, and again, a nice way to kind of wrap up and, kind of cap off what was a really, really good winter sports season. So that'll be what's to come. And for us, next week, we will wrap up our third installment of videos with Dr. Gabe Lou Ellis from Lehigh Valley Health Network. We'll be bringing that to you next Wednesday, and that will be the end of our 3 videos that we had for the winter sports season, and then we will look to bring you another set for the spring sports season. So
very, very timely that we're doing Dr. Lou Ellis next week, because it's like the week before the Sweet 16 and the Final Four of the NCAA basketball tournament. And if anybody's not aware of the name, he was Dr. Lou Ellis went to Allentown Central Catholic, went to Princeton, and made one of the most famous shots in NCAA basketball history when Princeton upset UCLA.
Yeah, and unfortunately, though, I think that shot might have been, and that win maybe got knocked down a little bit after UMBC took out Virginia in spectacular fashion last week.
It's been quite an NCAA tournament, upsets all over the place. You got Loyola in there, you've got Syracuse, the last team picked for the field, still playing, and then, like you said, UMBC, shocking everybody.
Nevada?
And Nevada's still there. Yeah, I mean, it's been a great tournament. It's, it's upset city, and I think that's what people like to see.
Absolutely. And hopefully we'll have a little bit more to talk about on our end in the next couple of weeks. But I'm sure I'll be able to talk to Dr. Lou Ellis a little bit more about NCAA basketball tournament when I see him next. I don't think he minds that too much, even though I'm sure he's a very modest guy, and he's not always interested in talking about that. But certainly
that video's been all over, by the way, on
historical
Facebook,
moment.
Right, every year when the tournament comes up and there's upsets, somebody post a video of that backdoor cut that he made for Princeton to beat UCLA, and so I just saw it a couple of weeks ago. Somebody had it posted on Facebook.
But certainly an awesome moment, and an awesome time of year, whether we're outside or not. But so that's kind of where we are right now. And
did you mention our uniforms?
Oh, I didn't. But yes, we do also have very, very special and fancy Lehigh Valley Health Network uniforms now for TnSportsChat. Yeah. So I just hope we don't blend in too much to our background, that they're like camouflage. But they are very nice. So thank you again to everybody that helped make these possible, just like our signs and our backdrop and everything like that. We do certainly very much appreciate all the support. So thank you again. But
and we have some big Lehigh Valley Health Network things going on with our spring season, and it's going to kind of run year round. We're going to have games of the week and players of the game and things like that. So those announcements will be coming up soon. But for the spring season, Lehigh Valley Health Network and the Times News are going to combine to even do a few more things.
Yeah, and I think maybe toward the end of the winter is when it started to expand a little bit. And
Right.
now that we're a little bit more established with it, once we get into the spring, I believe we'll be able to kind of really sort of, open that up a little bit more and do more with that, which is very exciting. So I'm hoping
Right.
that schools and athletes and coaches, everybody is as excited as we are about it, because it's a neat prospect, I think, for
It
everybody.
gives some nice recognition
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
teams and to the athletes, and I think it's going to work out really well.
Yeah, so it's a neat thing. It's an exciting thing. It's a new thing. So hopefully it's kind of refreshing for everybody, and something that they're as excited about as we are. So
Hopefully we'll be able to start those games
Yeah.
soon, so we can have games of the week.
Yeah.
Days of the week.
Hopefully it's not delayed too much longer. But I think that's all for this week.
That's
Have
it.
anything
I
else?
think we're good.
All right. So for Emmett McCall, I'm Patrick Matsinko. Thank you again for tuning in to TN Sports Chat presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network.